So it was my 22nd birthday. Obviously for the bank holiday I'd been home previously celebrating, but I'd come back up to London with my best friend Sophie. So, you know, we had a friend call up that day and said, you know, we've got a table, you know, come down to the club, and that's exactly what we did.
And you were about to leave, weren't you?
Yeah, so honestly, you know, the club was busy, it was packed, you know, you could barely move, and honestly, it got to about 1:45, you know, and I'd been out the night before and I was quite ready to, you know, to move on, you know, go get something to eat. And we kind of went back and sat down and got a bit distracted talking to our friends as we were staying with him. So we were going to get a key. And as I bent down, you know, that's when the acid hit. Nothing blisters that quick. Like the smell from the first bout of it coming, the steam off the floor, the smell, you know, and as soon as I touched my neck, it was, in 10 seconds, you know, skin was coming off in my hands. Like,
oh my gosh.
So you were rushed into the loo to pull
so
water
my
on your
friend
face.
pulled me to the side and, you know, just literally drenched me in water, and I think that kind of set off a panic in the bathroom, because, you know, girls would just say, like, you know, your neck, and I was like, you know, I can see, like, and I just, at that moment in time, anywhere I was stinging, I was just ripping off blisters, like,
oh, God.
I just think you're in so much pain. My first thought was, I need to stop this.
And you got separated from your friend Sophie, who was upstairs at this point. So when you came out the bathroom, you went upstairs, and the sight that you saw there, you said it was like a war zone. There was just people everywhere.
So I was taken to this room above the club, and yeah, I remember walking out and just remember, obviously, now I know, you know, the people it was thrown at, their heads in the sink. And I just remember, I can remember one in particular, like his cheek just hanging, like, honestly, just a layer of skin had, like, slid, and it was just hanging. And then I just remember turning round, and I remember it so clearly because I just stopped, and I was like, you know, my best friend was there just saying, Lauren, like, you know, what's my face? And I'm sat there saying, you know, I can't panic, I can't cry, you know. And I just said to her, and I said, I'm really sorry, you know, it's acid. And obviously the next thing for me is our parents are 2 hours away in Bournemouth. You know, I've got to make that phone call, and she's just saying, don't tell my mum just yet. It's better to go with the full story. So from there, that's when I made that call to my mum, and I'm a triplet, so, you know, my mum is always at the end of the line if anything happens. And
a late-night phone call from one of your children is going to alert you.
With my dad next to her in bed, you know, I made that call, and I just said, Mum, whatever I'm about to tell you right now, you have to promise me you're not going to panic. And she was like, what do you mean? She was like, tell me. And I was like, promise me now. It's like, you're going to make it worse if you panic. And I was like, I'm going to be fine. She was like, Lauren, what do you mean? And I just said, Mum, I think we've been involved in an acid attack. And I was like, you know, I'm fine. I was like, immediately knew I was going to have scars, and, you know, but minimal. But I was like, don't worry about me. But I was like, you know, that's when I kind of broke down to her, and I said, I'm really worried about Sophie. It's her face, Mum. I was like, it's her whole face, and it's her shoulder. And I was like, it's really quite bad.
Yeah. And what injuries did you sustain?
So I sustained injuries to my neck, mainly to my tummy, to my chest, to my legs and my feet.
And you say the thing is with these types of scars is that it's not like a broken bone. It doesn't heal, it doesn't go away. They might get better and the appearance might get better, but you, the one on your hand, you wake up, you see it, and it's a reminder of what happened to you.
Even though it's small, it's just that, you know, I look at them, you know, I wake up every day and I look at my foot, or if I'm just getting changed, I see it and I'm like, oh, it's a bit purple, like, you know, and I'm not one to sit there and complain, because, you know, if I stood up, it could have been my face. It could have been a lot worse, but it's seeing what everyone else has had to go through and seeing their scars. You know, they've got to wake up every morning and look in the mirror, look at, you know, their necks, look at, you know, their chest, you know, and even when they go on holiday, if they want to wear swimsuits, it's just things like that they've got to consider.
You saw Arthur Collins at the trial. What did you want to say to him? What do you feel about him?
I've been asked this, again, I've been asked this so many times this week, is what do you say to someone that throws acid? I don't think anyone would have a defined thing to say. And again, you know, what could you ask him that would mean he would... There's no justifying it. There's nothing he could say that would be an excuse enough to justify what he did that night. I think, for me, it would be, you know, put yourself in my shoes if it was your 22-year-old daughter, or if it was your sister or your mother or a really close friend. You know, that's what it does impact. That it impacts out of that circle. You know, what would you do? What would you think would be justifiable?
And the sentencing, we're waiting to hear the judges say to expect a heavy sentence on this, and I know that you're pleased about that, but you're actually calling for a life sentence.
Yes, 100%. Like I said, you know, when you throw that, you throw liquid like that out of a bottle in whatever form of acid you throw it in, you know, their life scars, you know, they've got, like I said, you've got to wake up with those every day, and it's the impact of having to relive that every year on the anniversary. It's, you know, why shouldn't that justify a life sentence?
How's it affected you going out now?
I've always been quite outgoing, and I would say I've really tried not to let it affect me, and I would say I almost haven't. But, you know, I'm definitely a lot more selective about where I go out. You know, if I'm in busy places, of course, you know, everyone's anxious, and, you know, like I was on the tube the other day and someone incredibly angry got on, and, you know, I got off that tube because the first thing, you know, is what are they going to pull out, what are they going to do?
Yeah,
you know, are they going
frightening.
to fight me? Like...